It's good, everybody. It's your boy out here, still chilling, doing it real small on a big level. Anyway, before I get out of here and start working out today, I just want to ask you guys a couple questions as far as the overall college graduate thing. A lot of us have children now who may be in their last few years of college, who are about to enter college, and the whole, I guess, thing around AI and how they are adapting AI to what's going to be going on in the extreme near future and what's already taking place right now. Just like before, the dot-com boom that we actually had, we were all kids during the dot-com boom. So a lot of us didn't get to participate in that wealth transfer. AI is a completely different animal because it's going to be inside of, I think, any and all economies of the world, everything from digital to physical, to shipping, to medicine and things of that nature. I remember wanting to get information about certain things and not being able to have that information, readily available at the time because, the internet was still in its infancy. A lot of us, when we were in our first year at whatever university that we were at, they were still using intranet. I remember specifically when Google only had, I think, like 15,000 searches available, maybe 20,000. But the thing is that it was still functioning, it was still usable, but a lot of the information on there, you really couldn't trust it based on, the source. So we fast forward to where we are right now, and the information has gotten a lot better. You have people who are credentialed, who write things, they write articles, and now we also have the ability to have the upper echelon individuals, the individuals with money, the individuals that control industry, go back to these universities. Not to say that it didn't happen before, but to give a forewarning as to what is coming. So Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Google, went to, I think it was University of Arizona or Arizona State University, I can't remember which one it was, here recently, and he gave a commencement speech in reference to the AI infrastructure. And you know that they booed this man. Now, I understand being frustrated, and I understand that the narrative is that AI is going to replace everyone's jobs, and it's already happening right now. The reality is AI is being used as a scapegoat for the job replacement. The reality is that the narrative is starting to shift because there was a lot of hiring done during COVID, and there were a lot of employees during those hiring, frenzies that became problematic for these particular industries. A lot of them happened in entertainment. Unfortunately, the first bout or first round of AI, a lot of people don't know, before OpenAI or ChatGPT came into play, was actually going on in animation, and they were fighting a lot with studios and with creators and with these companies that wanted to use AI because it was pushing people out of the jobs. Again, there was an area or a time where these individuals could have adapted because they were in fact given forewarning. A lot of the AI pieces that were actually available were on the phones. They were actually on like iPhones and some of them on Androids. Again, this was before Chat GPT. In order for you to like create images, create dynamic images, cartoon images for means of, production or whatever the case may be. That's why the advancements in AI that have been happening thus far, a lot of them have been in picture, animation, and entertainment versus not so much the regular jobs. Now, you have AI tools that are available to you that can enhance what you're already doing. You have AI tools like Claude that you can actually get on and build whatever it is that you actually want. But I think that the role of the overall delegator for these industries will probably go the way of the dodo bird, meaning that you're going to have what's considered to be builders, and you're going to have those tools that these individuals are being able to use to do so. Now, with that being said, if someone is giving you forewarning about what is actually coming long before or before you enter the job seeking process for these major industries that you are into, I don't care if it's medicine, I don't care if it's logistics, I don't care if it's robotics, doesn't actually matter. If someone is giving you forewarning about what is coming, why then would you turn around and boo that person? Because again, information used to be extremely hard to come by. And I think that's a very immature response from these individuals who were supposed to be of that higher or upper echelon of education, because educators absorb information, I guess they digest it, and then they are able to use it or appropriate it to whatever it is that they're actually doing. But that doesn't really seem to be the case. You're going to fight with something that is inevitable. It's kind of like, I don't know, fighting against your own best interest, especially if you're being told what is coming. Now, I get the frustration. I totally understand it. Everyone gets frustrated. This is not to say that you're right or you're wrong in your actual reaction. What I'm saying is, now that you know, what is it that you actually plan to do with the information? Because you can write anything from business plans, you can write addendums, you can create whatever it is you want with these particular applications through, I think it's called vibe coding. Now, I started playing around with Claude myself, and the production of what they call AI slop usually takes place if you try to make something for free. In fact, a couple of weeks back, there was a young lady when I was exercising on the lot that developed an exercise application for truck drivers. When I started asking the AI about comorbidities in the truck drivers, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and so on and so forth, the only instruction that it could give me was consult your physician, which is good information. However, there's also a settings piece that if you're creating these pieces for mass distribution, you have to have the AI play devil's advocate to a degree. Now, in the settings piece, you are allowed to explore more intensive things as far as your overall programming of the actual agents themselves. You know what I mean? So if you're able to do that portion, then you're not going to be producing something that's called slop. It's going to be virtually impossible for you to do it because it gives you access to all of the information that's actually available. So I don't understand, or I did not understand, why it was these young people were so upset, because if we had access to the people, to the warnings, to the internet, the way that these young people actually do, then I think that things would have turned out better for a vast majority of people, because information, again, that used to be very, very hard to come by. It wasn't something that you could just, you didn't have it on your phone at the drop of a dime. So that's just my 2 cents about it. I'd like to know what you guys think. Anyway, I'm about to get out here and get to it. I'll get it y'all in a minute. Deuces.